Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today as always. I just gave my youngest son, he's 12, a lecture about contributing, about taking action. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And before we begin, smash that like button and subscribe. And I see I got a few more subscribers the other day, about 12 or 15. Welcome, glad you're here. I hope you find value here, things that will help you in your life. What we talk about here is life, women, dating, money, business, family, relationships, many aspects of life. I don't focus on one aspect because your life is more rounded than that. There's more, situations that you deal with every day. And that's what I try to address here is things in your life that happen daily or weekly or monthly, whatever it happens to be, that we all go through, that you can relate to what I'm talking about and use this information to help you find a better way to deal with things, or a more efficient way, a way that can be beneficial to you and those around you. So with that being said, I think I told you to hit the like button, right? And leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any questions, ask, and I will address them as best I can. So what I'm going to talk about today is I had a gentleman yesterday ask me, how do I become famous? Or how do I become rich? I think he said famous. He said he'd been acting famous all his life. So I can only guess that he's been acting famous, but he's not famous yet. Well, you've heard of fake it till you make it, and there's a lot of truth in that. But also, you have to take action. Now, if he's been acting famous, I know that there's been a lot of times when he's had an intuition or a nudge or a feeling that he should take some action. But if he has not progressed, I would have to guess that he didn't take that action because of fear. We all face fear every day. Fear is what stands between you and everything you desire in life. If there's a devil, it's fear. I'm not much for the devil and all that. I believe the devil lives inside of us the same as God. Which one do we feed? That's the one that will dominate you. But doubt, fear, those things destroy every chance you have of accomplishing your goals, if you allow them to. You have to step through the fear. So my advice to him was to step through the fear. We all have fear. I have fear every day. I have a client right now that is very challenging. By the end of this is a nice person, good person, but just challenging. By the end of the day, I'm drained. My employees are drained. It's like we are wore out from the mental stress. Not that we're afraid all day, but I won't go into detail. It's just challenging, okay? It would be easier not to do that. And that's why I believe some people just go to work for someone else, because they don't have to deal with things like this. But I like this because, as I told this gentleman, this builds character. If I want more responsibility, if I want more in my life, then I have to have the character to accept more, to be able to handle more, so I won't self-sabotage myself. Whatever you want to become, you have to feel as if you already are that. And when you do that, you will have opportunities will be presented to you. Neville Goddard, I think, calls them bridges of incidences. Seeming coincidences will occur in your life. Opportunities will arise. You have to walk in the direction, walk into these opportunities. Because if you don't, and you allow fear to hold you back, you will never become whatever it is you want to become. And fear is always going to be there. It's your constant companion. I heard someone once say, make friends with fear, because it's always going to be there. But you will find when you step through these fears, an exhilaration, a feeling of satisfaction that you will get from nothing else. I remember when I used to box, man, getting beat up wasn't too bad. That happened before, right? Of course, beating someone else up made me feel better. But it is a sport, okay? But the important thing was, the thing I want to bring up here is the fear. The fear. I mean, waiting. It's like I always wanted to fight first, but it seemed like I always fought last. But once you finally get in there and get hit, it's like the fear is completely gone. And I wasn't afraid of getting beat up. I was afraid of looking bad, afraid of what people would think. And that's something else we have to negate in our lives, worrying about what people are going to think. What do you think? It's really none of my business what you think of me. But it is my business what I think of you. And it is my business what I think of myself. And that's an important thing to remember, because too many people don't pursue their dreams, their goals, their visions, because they're afraid of what Joe will think, of what Uncle Bill will think, or what will my mother think, or my father think, or my friends think. Well, I'm going to tell you what, if you're not doing much with your life right now, and you start walking in the direction of your goals and dreams, you're going to lose some friends. But if they're real friends, you won't lose them. But they will try to hold you back. It's like the old crab principle. Your true friends, the crab principle is this. If you have a basket of crabs and one tries to crawl out, the other one pulls it back down so it can't get out. So your friends, or who you think are your friends, will do the same thing. They don't do it maliciously usually, but they just, when you start doing something with your life, they have to look at themselves and ask themselves, why aren't I doing something with myself? So they'll try to drag you back. But your true friends will encourage you and let you go because they love you. So don't worry about what people think. And if you do, try to take the action anyway, because you'll never get there if you're worried about being embarrassed or people laughing at you, or if you're afraid you're going to fail and people will laugh at you. I failed so many times I can't count. I failed many more times than I've ever succeeded. But that's okay. You get up and you press on. They say there is no failure until you're in the grave and you're buried 6 feet under, or whatever. Maybe you want to be cremated. Either way, until you're done here on this earth, you haven't failed. So don't give up, get back up and keep moving on, and never surrender. Never surrender to your fears that tell you you can't reach your desires. But with that said, I will say you have to surrender to life. My biggest challenge every day is allowing life to give me, or allow the flow of things to come into my life, the wonderful life that I can have, without getting this rational mind in the way and stopping it, thinking I know what's best. Wonderful things happen for me every day if I can stay out of the way. I think I know what's best for myself sometimes, but I don't. And that's evident by looking back on my past when I tried to achieve certain things, usually relationships with women I'd have been better off without. And maybe I got them and wished I hadn't, or maybe I didn't get them and look back thinking, God, I'm glad I didn't. Either way, I realize that I have to head off in a direction, but I have to be flexible to the direction life is going to take me. But you have to have a direction. You have to have a goal. You have to have something to shoot for. What's the old saying? Shoot for the stars, or shoot for the moon, and maybe you'll hit one of the stars. So I gotta go. That's all I got time for today. Check out my website at marksinspiration.com. I got a couple books, Coming Back Home, The True Adventure of Mark Daniels, and The Power Is Within. Both available on Amazon Books, and I will see you tomorrow.